Hello out there. We're on the air. Look who it is inside this week. The inside version. How's it going, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. This is number 10, lesson number 10 out of 88. And it is titled Bitcoin is the superior version of physical cash. Look at me. I got it in today. Let's see how many. Let's try to set a record today. Let's try to set a record for how many people we can get into the live chat today. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble. And we're even live on Nostr. Wow, okay. I did not think we were going to be live on Nostr. That is a surprise. So I don't know how long we're going to be live on Nostr because I couldn't figure out how to top up my balance. So if anybody's watching on Nostr right now and they know how to top up my balance, it won't work for me. It just won't load. Every time I go to Zap to top up my balance, it just dies. Nothing happens. So I got 96 sats left at 2.5 sats per minute. So I got a half an hour with Nostr today, unless anybody out there on Nostr can help a brother out, because I can't top up my balance here. So anyways, I shared it on Nostr. I shared it on Twitter. And so if you could help a brother out, help grow the Bitcoin network, get some people in here. We got a good show on the agenda today. We're kind of killing two birds with one stone today. Or as Ricky would say on the Trailer Park Boys, we're getting two birds stoned at once. So let's get right into her. I said that the first comment today wins. And that was Nav. Said, what do I win? You win 88 sats. If you can figure out a way to put your Lightning address in the chat, I will send you 88 sats for being the first comment today. But we don't waste any time here. We do a live show every morning on Rumble and Nostr. Actually, sorry. I better cut that out. I got a new strategy here. Okay, so here is the game plan for today. The game plan for today is read the title, which we already did. This is called Bitcoin is the superior version of physical cash. And I'm sure that would actually make some people out there mad. But those people don't understand Bitcoin. Whoever would be upset about that title, Bitcoin is the superior version of physical cash, does not understand Bitcoin. Shout outs today. Gigi, our number one guy, one of my favorite Bitcoiners that has ever lived, has ever walked the planet of the apes. Gigi, he wrote a book called 21 Lessons, and that's what has inspired this course here that we're doing, a free course on YouTube. And it's titled 88 Lessons. So shout out to Gigi. If you haven't had a chance to read his book yet called 21 Lessons, What I Learned Going Down the Bitcoin Rabbit Hole, I highly suggest it. Second shout out here is to Michael Saylor, who said this. He said, people spend about 100,000 hours of their life earning money, going to work, owning a business. They should spend at least 100 hours learning how to keep it. Or 88 lessons, which I'm here to help you with. And the last shout out here today is to you. It takes big dreams and big balls to be in Bitcoin in 2025. And you have both, male or female, and that's it. But male or female. It's not easy. It's kind of a tough life, being told 99% of your life that you're wrong, that you're a dipshit, that you're crazy. And to kind of get through that, especially the year that we've had in 2025, huge shout out to anybody who's watching the show right now. When I think back to January, February 2025, about 10 or 11 months ago, there probably would have been 120, 150 people in here, which is still criminally low. It's like, I laugh at it. It's like 14,000 subscribers I think we have on YouTube. That's a joke. It's a joke. That number should be 140,000 or 1.4 million subscribers. because this is the most interesting topic in the world right now, Bitcoin. So shout out to you for being here. Shout out to our new members. Wow, we had a lot of new members this week. I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of them here, and these are all the people on Rumble. So we had Ingo Lenson, we had Kay Senya, we had HSG, Dreamscape Pro, Spud Gun, great name. Not an alias on Rumble. Carl Quaid, and Paultron, who just subscribed 1 hour ago. So big shout out to our new members over on the other one. And I'm going to do something special here. Last week I said send an email to visionaries@proton.me. I don't know why I put it twice there, but we're going to do something similar today. So stay tuned for that. Sponsors. This is the catchphrase that I came up with recently. No sponsors, no filter. Oh, hopefully I can type better than that today. No sponsors, no filter. Not having any sponsors actually gives me a lot of freedom. It allows me to say whatever the hell I want, to talk about whatever the hell I want. I got to be careful here a little bit, but there's no subjects that are off guard for me or off what's the word I'm looking for here? There's no subject that I won't dive into. I don't have to watch myself. I don't have to watch what I say because nobody's paying me. It's the community here. So I did want to give a big shout out to everybody in 2025 who supported the channel in any way, whether it was the QR code on screen, whether it was the Rizful wallet, whether it was joining one of the communities. Big shout out, because honestly, without people like that, I wouldn't be here, because I want to do it this way. And I made a post about this on Nostr this week, and I said, I don't think there's more than a handful of Bitcoiners who are going the value for value route. It's difficult. It's the hard path, but I believe it to be the best path. So we have no sponsors. We have no filter, and that means we can talk about whatever we want. So if you do like what you're seeing, if you have learned anything or got any sort of value from this channel and myself, you can send some sats to the QR code Arnie on the screen there. Or if you're watching on your phone, you can send to Jor at Rizful. And if we do receive any zaps during the show today, I will give you a shout out for sure. That is what I can promise you. So let me get that opened up here. All right. And then we got the game plan today. Are we going to be giving away some free Bitcoin? I don't know. Oh, we got a couple of zaps here. Look at that. We got Moravian. I think that was on Nostr, though. 1,000 freedom units twice. Yeah, we got a couple over on Nostr. That might be in the Zap stream, actually. So we'll get to the Zap stream in a second. But today, we're going to be talking about a couple things. So I was kind of in between titles. We're going to be focused on two different topics today for the lesson. The first part, we're going to be talking about why Bitcoiners have already won, which I'm sure you've heard before. We've already won, but this is going to be a slightly different spin on that. And then I'm actually going to be doing a walkthrough video of how to get yourself a custom Lightning address, custom Lightning wallet. So we're going to go through it on the lesson today, and some more stuff too. Bitcoin Citadel Visionaries. I do want to start the show with this actually today. I'll probably talk about this a couple different times, but I wanted to start with this today. So I'm going to focus on the Visionaries. Oh, wrong show there. That was Moravian. Hey, if anybody's over watching on, look at how good the quality is over there. Pretty bad. Critical. Oh my gosh. Zapstream hasn't been working much for me lately, but if anybody over on Nostr can find a way to top up my balance here, I got 0.4 hours left, and I can't see when I press Zap, nothing happens. It just spins. So if anybody over in the Nostr chat knows how to fund a balance in there, we can keep the show going. But if not, we're going to end the Nostr stream in 0.04 hours because I only have 57 sats left on there. But I want to share this. This is breaking news today. So you, as a watcher here in the audience, are the first to know about this. I talked about this last week a little bit. And I talked about the 365 days of Bitcoin, which ends tomorrow, the very first season of 365 days of Bitcoin. We did a video every day in 2025 talking about Bitcoin, talking about the technical side of Bitcoin, the security, the management, UTXOs, funds, everything like that, the mindset that you need, everything. But we're doing it again, and we're doing it with a new and improved name, Bitcoin School. Introducing Bitcoin School. So starting January 1st, which is in 2 days from now, Bitcoin School begins. This is the next iteration of the 365 Days of Bitcoin, which featured a video every day in 2025. Bitcoin School will also have a video posted every day on School. But there's a few improvements for 2026, the season 2. Bitcoin School won't officially begin until March 15th, 2026. All the daily videos done up until that point will be a bonus for all the current members who are in there right now and who joined between January 1st and March 15th. And I got a couple ideas. I'm going to do a big section on Noster. We're going to be talking about how to improve your body and mind as a Bitcoiner and much more in the first couple months. But then school will officially start on the 15th of March. This course is going to be a little bit different than the 365 because in this course, we're actually going to be focused on getting into a multi-sig setup. So I want to have everybody who's going through this course. My goal is to have 100 people going through this course. And I want every single one of them to either be in a multi-sig setup by the end of 2026 or be ready, comfortable, confident to take that next step. That's kind of the main focus of this course. There's going to be a lot of things in between there, but that's kind of the direction that we're going to. I also want to make sure that every person who's going through this course has at least 8 different streams of income by the end of the year. And we're going to do a bunch of brainstorming. I'm going to give you a bunch of resources for that. And finally, you're going to have a very supportive community of Bitcoiners to lift each other up and to increase our sovereignty, which is why we're in Bitcoin. Sovereignty go up. The course will also have a private live session every week, starting in March, where we can get together, review the recent episodes, and have some time for Q&A. So that private live session will be available to members. And so that's the new Bitcoin School. That's starting in 2 days from now. And I wanted to mention it today because if you join today or tomorrow, it's $8 a month, which is insanely, criminally low for what you're going to be getting from this course. And this is kind of what I said at the end. My theory, and this is important. My theory is that if you do this right, if you do everything right in 2026, you go through this course, take it seriously, your family will be set up for the next 10 plus generations. So it's up to you. It's here. We're going to do it. If you want to show up, we would love to have you there. So until January 1st, it's going to be $8 a month. Once January 1st comes, it's going to be $21 a month. And it's probably going to increase up until March 15th when we actually start the school. But I mean, it makes sense to be there early because you can pay a lower fee or a lower rate and you get all the bonus stuff. So if you're interested in joining the school community there, you can go to, where is it? Very easy, school.com/88sats. And I figured, you know what? Kind of like how people use the Bitcoin logo, open source for marketing. Why don't we just piggyback on school? I'm incredibly bullish on school. I think it's going to be the biggest platform in a couple of years from now. And I've been incredibly impressed with what they built so far. So why not? Bitcoin School. That's what we're calling this. So I haven't officially decided this yet, but I think we're also going to have like a private chat for all the students who are going through I don't like calling the students, Bitcoiners. We're going to have a private group chat for all the Bitcoiners who are going through this school course, Bitcoin School. So I don't have all the details on that yet, but they'll be coming at some point. So there you go. That is the Bitcoin School. I'll probably mention it again during the show, but I figured we'd start with it. School.com/88sats. And I'll maybe just put a link in the chat here quickly in case anybody wants to hop on board. You can get in the first 100 members in there. Be one of the first 100. Who knows where that's going to lead? Who knows where that leads? Anyways, let's keep her rolling here. Okay. So without further ado, this is lesson number 10. And we're going to be talking about why Bitcoiners have already won. 5 easy wins to do before 2026. 3 things, actually. I said there's only 2, but there's 3 things we're going to be going through today. And claiming your own custom Wallet of Satoshi address. I'm going to walk you through the exact steps that you need to do that. And this is important because I consider Lightning addresses to be exactly like email addresses. Except probably better, because with email, you can send words, you can send files. But with a Lightning address, that's what you're going to be using in the future to send and receive money. And so it's kind of important. You want to make sure that not only do you have a Lightning address and you're kind of familiar with using it, but you also have a unique one that's easy to type, easy to read, easy to spell, and easy to say out loud. So that's why, just like an email now, you can't go into an email service and get Canon at protonmail.com because it's already gone. So you want to do this before everybody else figures this out. And so that's what we're going through. We're going to do a step-by-step tutorial of how to claim your own custom Wallet of Satoshi address. And you can do this with other ones too, which we'll talk about. But I feel like Wallet of Satoshi is the best Lightning address or Lightning wallet that exists, and it is now available in the US. So this is definitely an important part of your Bitcoin journey. So let's start with this one. Why? Oh, somebody just joined the school. Congratulations, whoever that was. Your family's going to be very thankful that you made that small decision back in 2025. But I mean, it's easy to join. The hard part is going to be showing up every day, every week. I mean, you don't have to watch it every day. You can batch them together. Each episode is about 10 or 50 minutes long. So I'll talk about, again, a little bit about that at the end of this lesson. But let's start with this. Why Bitcoiners have already won. And so we've kind of spent the first several, or I guess the first 8 episodes talking about why Bitcoin. Like, what's the point? What's the incentive? Why would anybody want to take the time, take their money, put it into Bitcoin? Why? So today I'm going to be talking about why Bitcoiners have actually already won. And there is a big difference, before we go any further, between a Bitcoiner and somebody who owns Bitcoin. There's a lot of people out there who own Bitcoin, have a Bitcoin wallet, have exposure to Bitcoin, own a Bitcoin ETF. Those aren't Bitcoiners. Those are just placeholders, essentially. Bitcoiners are people who have their green light turned on, which means that they understand Bitcoin. And I would say that if you can explain the difficulty adjustment and why that makes Bitcoin so valuable, then you have your green light turned on. You are a Bitcoiner. So not everybody who owns Bitcoin has already won, but Bitcoiners have already won. I'm going to explain why here. So that's where we're going to start. Let me take this off for a second. I heard somebody else just join the school. So welcome. Welcome to a couple folks there. Cannon said, is the lifetime for school still available for those interested? Yes. And that is an option. If you would rather pay in sats and a little bit more private, I guess, you can pay for a lifetime membership. If you are here for the long term, it's going to make financial sense to do that. Okay, so where was this freaking thing now that I wanted to share? Oh, right here. Okay, so why Bitcoiners have already won. I had it here, right here. So this is a nice comment that somebody left. Not somebody, Mark. 65 sats. They left this comment on my Rumble channel yesterday, and I saw it. It says, caught the show on replay. I always feel so positive after watching the show. Keep it up. So number one, shout out to Mark for a nice comment. It's pretty easy to be hateful and angry on the internet, but it takes a little bit more to spread love. So big shout out to Mark. But that's not why I'm saying this. I thought about it for a second. And he said, I always feel so positive after watching the show. And I feel like that's a pretty good testimonial, good marketing there. But I was like, you know, and that's what I said here in the post. I said, Bitcoin allows me to speak with genuine optimism for the future, which means that even if it fails, even if for some reason, somehow, some way, Bitcoin ended up failing, went to zero, we were wrong about it, I've already won. Think about that. I don't think many people really understood what I was saying there. Bitcoin allows me to speak with genuine optimism for the future. So when I speak with this genuine optimism for the future, it's because that's what I really believe deeply in my heart and soul, that we are right about Bitcoin. And so if you understand life, everybody's life is different from their own lens. Everybody's perspective in the world here is different, is unique. And that's essentially how they see the world. Somebody might have a very negative lens on the world right now. Some people are kind of indifferent. They don't really care. They don't really pay too much attention to it. Everything's happening all at once. But there's people out there, and I believe that Bitcoiners are the number one target of this, or the number one category of this. There are people who are very optimistic about the world and especially the future. And I would not have that optimism without Bitcoin. I'll tell you personally, I went through a lot of very difficult times and days, weeks, before I figured out what Bitcoin was, before I saw some sort of light at the end of this. Because everybody kind of goes through a journey in Bitcoin, or I did anyways, and I think most people do, where you're black-pilled. That's kind of the first step. You see how bad things really are. You're like, what the hell is going on? I've been lied to my whole life about everything. And you have this very helpless and hopeless feeling about the future. And I think that that's what a lot of people are going through right now. And what Bitcoin's done for me is it's totally flipped that on its head. And so from my lens, from my perspective, I have a very positive attitude every day. And it's not something that I fake. When you do a live stream for 2 or 3 hours every day, this isn't something that you can fake. I genuinely believe, getting too excited here. I genuinely believe that Bitcoin over the long enough term here is going to fix every single aspect that we have, every issue that we have in society. And so I have that future, and nobody can take that away from me. And so whether I spend 5, 6, 10, 15 years with that optimism, those are 15 years that I spent in that perspective, looking at the world from that lens. And so at the end of the day, Bitcoin is a tool. I believe it is the only tool that we have that can actually defeat the people who have done so much damage to our world. But it is just a tool. It's all about your perspective. It's all about the mindset and the way, the lens that you see the world through. And so therefore, again, even if this thing fails, even if I'm completely wrong about this, I've spent the majority of my days and hours and minutes feeling good, feeling optimistic and hopeful for the future. And you can't take that away from me. So it's not that I'm thinking Bitcoin will fail or could fail, but I'm saying even if it did, I've already won. So that's the first part here. And so that's what I wanted to get into in terms of why we've already won and also why not. And I wanted to share a post here from Laser, which is this. The worst case scenario, if Bitcoin goes to zero, is to have the same outcome in life as everybody else has. Work until you're old and have all your wealth stolen from you by the system. So it's like when you think about it that way, and actually my brother asked me this a while ago. He said, Jor, what if you're wrong about Bitcoin? What if Bitcoin fails? And I said, I thought about it for like a split second. And I said, well, then I'll go do what I was doing before. Which means there's no downside here. There's zero downside to this. That's why a lot of people refer to Bitcoin as the most asymmetric trade in human history for that reason, is that there's an unlimited upside with this, truly unlimited upside with Bitcoin. And there's almost zero downside to it. Think about that. Because if Bitcoin fails, if something happened, I do not anticipate this to happen, but shit does happen. I think the whole world would be in a lot of trouble for one, but then you'd be exactly where you were before you got into Bitcoin. So it's not like if Bitcoin fails, you're going to get hung in town square or something like that. There is unlimited upside and almost zero downside to being a Bitcoiner. And it'll actually change your life in a lot more ways than just your wealth. But we'll get into that later in the course here. So with that, that's why Bitcoiners have already won. Because we look at the world differently than everybody else. We see optimism. And there's a famous quote here. And if you think about it this way too, there's a famous quote that says, pessimists get to be right. Optimists get to be rich. And that's how I think about it. Is like gold bugs. Yeah, they've had a good year. Silver holders have had a good year. But if you think about it, how much time have those people spent essentially with a very negative lens of the world, right? Because all gold holders and silver holders were blackpilled. That's how they got into precious metals. They realized that the financial system, the world that we operate in, is a complete scam, is a complete lie, a complete illusion. And so they've been blackpilled already, but that's how they see the world. Gold bugs and silver people are essentially betting on doomsday. They're betting on the world to fail. And so even if they're right, and it's same with people who are kind of crapping on Bitcoin right now, it's like pessimists. Yeah, did you see Bitcoin hardly moved in 2025? That's a pessimist. That's a pessimist mentality. They get to be right. They got to be right for 2025. But what about 2024, 2023, 2026? They get to be right for like very small moments in time. But optimists, if you understand, if you're a Bitcoiner and you have a clear vision of where this thing's going, you're going to be right and you're going to be very rich. So that's why Bitcoiners have already won. First part. Number two, we're going to be talking about 5 easy wins to do before 2026. What? Oh, I got a couple lists here. Look at me go. 5 easy wins. This actually might be 4, but we'll see. I forget if I had 4 or 5 here. Okay, so the first one here, because we got 2 days left in the year. So that's the first part. We got 2 days left. And I know everybody's going to be watching this at a different time. Some people might be watching this on Saturday, which will be in the new year. But either way, you can still go ahead and do these. So these are some easy wins that you can check off your list and head into 2026 on fire. On fire. So I want everybody here to sign up for Nostr. I don't think you have any sort of excuses anymore. And I'm going to share the resource that I've been using to help people get into. Shout out to a couple people, 4 now, who have joined the new school community, Bitcoin School. I can hear the little notification that goes off. Yakioni. So let me share this with you. There's the website. That's where everybody can go. And I'm actually going to bring this up over on the screen. I actually did a walkthrough of this on the 365 days of Bitcoin. I showed how to set this up. So basically what you do is you just go to, you'll go to yakioni.com. Where did we go here? There we go. You go to yakioni.com. You go to log in. You go to create an account. You put in your name. You upload a picture of yourself, whatever you need to do. And then once your screen looks like this, once you're all logged in, that's where you want to go right here. And settings is I had a hard time finding this, but you go to settings and then you go to your keys and then you copy both of these. So your secret key and your public key. This is the best Nostr client or website that I've found for actually signing up for Nostr. But you want to make sure that you keep your secret key and your public key in a safe place. Kind of treat them like your Bitcoin private keys. And this secret key here, think about this like your password. But the cool thing about Nostr that's unique is that you could actually take your key, your private key here, your secret key, and you could log into Yakioni, you could log into Primal, you could log into Amethyst, you could log into any app that's associated that runs on the Nostr protocol using this key, and everything's going to look the same. You're going to have the same followers, you're going to have the same posts, the same people following you that you're following. You can take this key and you can bounce between different Nostr clients. And this public key here, this is kind of like your username, your unique identifier. And this is how people will find you. Because when you sign up, you're going to create a username, but there could be 1,000 Joe Burners or Jor Burners out there. So this is how people identify you. This is your identifier here, your public key. So again, you go to the bottom here, you go to settings, you go to your keys, and then you just copy and paste those, and you want to keep those safe. And then of course you can post, you can zap. And the cool thing about Yakioni is they actually give you your own wallet inside of Yakioni. So you don't have to have like an external wallet or the NWC Nostr Wallet Connect, which is kind of difficult to navigate. You actually get your own Lightning wallet right inside of Yakioni. I don't know if I'm even saying that right. Yakioni. So that's number one. That is the number one thing that you can do. Oh, where did our thing go here? There we go. Sign up for Nostr. Number two, Zap. Zap your favorite people on Nostr. And I think this is the best investment that you're going to make other than signing up for the Visionaries community in 2026. I think this is the best investment you can make. So what I'm going to say here is like, set up a budget for yourself. Set up a budget of like 5,000 sats, 10,000 sats, 20,000 sats. This is once you're on Nostr. I know there's a lot of people who watch the show who are already on Nostr. So zap your favorite people on Nostr. And the reason I said is because for somebody who's been on Nostr for almost 3 years now, when somebody likes my post or reposts it or leaves a comment on it, I might see it, but it doesn't mean anything to me. But when somebody zaps me in a small, medium, large amount, I notice. And I usually just go ahead and follow them instantly. Because to me, that shows that they're Bitcoiners. They understand what's happening here. They understand the importance of Nostr, and they're a real person. And so I just go ahead and follow them. And why that's relevant here is because two reasons. You have to understand that in a world that we're moving into here, without middlemen, that's what Bitcoin is. In a Bitcoin world, there's no middlemen. In a true, fair P2P economy, there's no middlemen, which means that you have to earn trust. You have to grow your reputation online. And so when somebody goes to my profile now and they see, hey, Jeff Booth follows Jor, or Marty Bent follows Jor on Nostr, or whoever, that automatically gives me some reputation or trust from other people. And that's going to be incredibly important in this new world that we're moving into here. So you send a couple zaps or get your allotted budget and just zap your favorite people. And they might notice, they might follow you. And that would be a huge win for your web of trust online. But the part two of that, I think I said there's two things. But the part two of that, and this is very relevant for our visionary school community too, is you have to understand that anybody who's watching this video right now in 2025, if they do things right, they're going to be incredibly wealthy in the future. Because think about it this way. Bitcoin hits $50 million some point in the future. There's going to be people in the community who have $50 million worth of purchasing power. And then in a couple years, they're going to have $65 million worth of purchasing power. And these are the people that you're associating with. These are the people that you're getting to know now before all that happens. And that's why I cannot stress enough of joining some sort of community, whether it is the visionaries or something else, but consider it an investment. And make sure you pay for your community too. You don't have to join the visionaries, but make sure you don't join any free communities, because that's how you lose all your Bitcoin. Number 3 here, get your custom Lightning address, which we're going to be going through in just a second here. Number 4 is sign up for 2 new exchanges. So I'm guessing everybody who's watching the show today already has a Bitcoin exchange that they like using. I would assume. But I'll tell you personally, from my Bitcoin journey and my experience, is that when I had one exchange and the price of Bitcoin was either crashing way down or going way up, those are the times when you really need to have access to an exchange, right? It's like one thing to DCA or have a recurring buy or buy when you get some money. But like when the price is crashing down and you want to take advantage of the sale on Bitcoin, or when it's ripping up and you want to maybe take some profits and pay for, your credit card bill or whatever you've been putting off, you want to be able to do that. And so you don't want to be solely reliant on one single exchange. And so for Canadians, the exchanges that I recommend are Bitcoin Well, Bull Bitcoin, and ShakePay. So you should have at least 3. That's kind of my rule of thumb. You should have at least 3 exchanges. And it's actually going to tie into the next part as well a little bit here. So this is Canada. USA, I would say Bitcoin Well, River, and Strike. So again, even if you're already signed up for an exchange and you love using it, I would say just like, number 1, try it. So if you're using Strike right now, try River. Do $100, $200, $500, whatever you're comfortable with. Just see what the experience is like. See what the buying process is like. See what the user interfaces on the website is like. You don't have to start using it. You can try it once, and if you don't like it, just keep it in your back pocket. So that's what I would say, is sign up for 2 new exchanges. And I think it'll take you about 10 minutes to do that. So you shouldn't have any issues sneaking that in before the new year. So I'm going to have links to all those in the show notes in case anybody's watching this after. And I'll try to, if I remember at the end of this video here, I will share some of the links in the chat. And number 5 is show as much love as you can. You have to keep in mind here that we're all on Team Bitcoin. Every person here is on Team Bitcoin. And it's so unique, so different from the fiat system that we're used to. We're all working together here. And I was reading, I don't know if it was an audiobook or what it was this morning, but they were talking about harmony. And the guy said, harmony is the reason why small groups of people, when they're working towards the same mission, when they're all working together in harmony, have the ability to make real change in the world. And I was like, that sounds like Bitcoin. That's literally exactly what Bitcoin is. And I don't think that Bitcoiners really understand that. And so whether it's on Nostr, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on whatever, Twitter, whatever that you use, if you have your favorite Bitcoin accounts or people who are out there talking about Bitcoin, show them some love, because it's going to help grow the network. It's a positive for Team Bitcoin. And you're also going to have some good karma heading into the new year. Your heart's going to be full of love. And like I shared Mark's post there, like that kind of stuff matters, especially if you don't have the ability to support financially through Zaps or through Super Chats or joining communities. This is such an easy thing that you can do, and it doesn't cost you anything either. So that's what I would say. Show as much love as you can. And now we're going to do a walkthrough of the Wallet of Satoshi wallet. And by the way, I see a lot of comments here in the chat. Oh, the Alaskan Wolf even showed up today. Nice. I can't wait to see those comments. But I'm not ignoring you. We're going to finish the lesson here, and then I'm going to check in with the live chat right after that. So let me take this off there. I'll put up my Lightning wallet. Again, this is a good way to support the channel. If you've been enjoying the stuff we're talking about here, if you've been learning from these 88 lessons, you can support the channel that way. So let me, what was I going to do here? Oh yeah, I was going to share that, those links quickly. And again, I know I've been talking about River a lot on here, but and River doesn't have a great like referral program at all. But I just think it's the best exchange that you can be using for Americans out there. They have so many great features on there. And I think you get like $100 worth of Bitcoin for using the link here. So I will share that, and I'll also share my Bitcoin Well one, which is better for me, not as good as for you, but still something. Make sure that whenever you're signing up for new things in Bitcoin, number one, make sure you have like a fresh email address. Like just go to protonmail.com, get yourself a fresh email address, and use that for your Bitcoin stuff. Don't put your full name in it. Don't put your name in it. Just come up with some sort of NIM, like a lot of people in the chat have done, and get a fresh email address and just use that to sign up for everything with. That kind of detaches you from everything in your old life. So that's what I would say to that. And the second part of that, get an email. I forget what I was going to say. The second part of that doesn't matter. Can't be that important. Might come to me, might not. Okay, so let's do this lightning address together. This is the wallet of Satoshi here. So if I go here, okay, we're going to do this together. So number one, download the wallet of the Satoshi. No, that's not what it's called. Download wallet of Satoshi. And you can find it at walletofsatoshi.com or in the App Store. So you can either do it follow along with me here, or you can come back and watch this later. But either way, we're going to be doing a full walkthrough right now together. So I got the wallet of Satoshi here set up. And I have a wallet already here, which I'm going to kind of show in case people already have a wallet, what you want to do. Because I had that question come up the other day from somebody. Which was, okay, where are we here? So you can see here that I got 405 sats in this wallet right now. I have an existing wallet of Satoshi wallet. And so what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to go to, and again, the reason why we're doing this is because number one, wallet of Satoshi is the best wallet in my experience. I think it's going to be the one that outlives all the other wallets. It has self-custody option, which hardly any other wallets have. And it's now available in the US. So what you want to do is you want to go to login, register. So this is if you already have a wallet of Satoshi downloaded and wallet set up. So go to, put your email address in there. So I'm going to put in mine. And that's basically, we sent you 2 random login words. Okay, so I got to go see my words now. This will be, it usually gives you a QR code to scan or a couple words. So my words are what? Tulip and seek. Okay, so now there we go. So now my existing one. So what I'm going to do now, and I wanted to share that because there's probably people out there who already have wallet of Satoshi. But now I believe I should be able to delete this app and I would be able to recover my Bitcoin after. So I only have 400 sats on there. So just in case something went wrong, I would suggest sweeping your wallet first, honestly, before trying this. This is a bold move here, but we're going to, it's 400 sats. I mean, someday they'll be worth a lot. So uninstall, and then I'm going to go to the App Store now. So again, you can go to walletofsatoshi.com, download it from there, or you can go to the App Store, Google Play Store, whatever you use there. It's available in both Play Store. So now you just download it, and it should be kind of a fresh start for you. Wallet of Satoshi. So again, this isn't just creating a wallet of Satoshi address. This is creating the wallet of Satoshi address that you want. Because again, the purpose of this is that we want to be able to have something unique that's relevant to us, our name, our business name, or whatever, without having to put 20 numbers behind it or a bunch of underscores or change our name. This is going to be the way that people send money to each other in the future. So this is a pretty important step in your Bitcoin journey. So once you got it downloaded there, this is what it looks like. Fresh screen. Okay. So what you want to do first here is if you click receive, you can see that everybody is kind of assigned their own random wallet of Satoshi address. So mine is rested pipe. Rested pipe 61. I might hang on to that address actually. Rested pipe 61. I'm going to have to give it up though here. So you can actually click that little figure right beside it there. You see that little profile man picture? So if you click that, it gives you the steps to unlock your own custom address. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do now is log in. So you put your email address in there, and I might have to use a different one here. Okay, so let's put our email address in here. And hopefully I'll be able to access this. So we send 2 random login words. So then you go to your email address. You get your words. And I got trout and trophy. Wow. Trout, trophy. That reminds me of Home Alone when Buzz called Kevin a trout sniffer. One of the best insults in any movie of all time. Trout sniffer. Okay. So we got that done. So if we go back to our receive, back into there, now it says I have completed the first step. Check. Now what you got to do is you have to send or receive 10 different Lightning transactions. So the second step there was click receive, find the profile looking guy, and that takes you to the custom. So then you have to enter and confirm your email. And this is why I suggest you just set up a fresh email for this, so it's not associated with your name or anything like that. And then from there, you have to send 10 Lightning transactions. So what you could do here is if this is your first Lightning address, then what I would do is I would also simultaneously set up an address from rizful.com. So you could take whatever you're going to have. Let's say you wanted to have Paul Tron like this. Look at that. So Paul Tron, he got pmail at rizful.com. So you could just set up a brand new Lightning address. You don't have to go through all these steps with Rizful. They don't have the same kind of spam fighting requirements here. And then you could fund that, but you can find a way to send 10 Lightning transactions back and forth. You don't have to send it to somebody else. You can just send it to yourself. I'm sure a lot of people watching the show already have a Lightning address, so that shouldn't be a problem. And then the next part here is you have to fund your wallet. So I think you have to send, what's the minimum here? I think it's 100,000 sats. 100,000 sats. Send or receive Bitcoin on chain. So I would say do 150,000 sats. So that's why I kind of wanted to tie it in with this, because if you get a new account here and you want to test it out, let's say you want to deposit $200 into River. So you send River $200. You have $200 in your River account. And then you just go back in your wallet of Satoshi and you send it from River to wallet of Satoshi. And the reason why I like doing this is because you save fees. Otherwise, you're going to be swapping on-chain Lightning back, conversion fees. But all the good exchanges like River, Bitcoin Well, they have free withdrawals. So you're going to save some sats here with this. So you fund your wallet with 150,000 sats, and then you could actually, maybe I'll reverse these. I'll put this one as number 5. Do this one first. Oh, what happened there? And then this is 6. So this is kind of out of order, but I should fix it just in case anybody wants to screenshot this or something. So I would fund it first. Maybe we'll, yeah. This is going to be different for everybody because I'm sure some people will have a Lightning address already that they can send back and forth with. Some people might not have a Lightning address yet. So if you don't have a Lightning address yet, just grab an account from rizful.com. So that's kind of it. You have to put in your email address. You have to fund your wallet. So I recommend sending directly from the exchange to your wallet of Satoshi. So you don't pay any fees, any conversion fees. And then you just got to send 10 Lightning transactions. And you could do this all in 5 minutes probably. And then create your own custom address. And depending on what your stack is like and how into this you are, you could also get Lightning addresses for your spouse, your business. Because again, this is how people are going to send and receive money in the future. So you want to have a good address here where you can either type it out easily, you can spell it out easily, you can say it easily. So you don't want it to be too complex. You want to keep this kind of as straightforward and concise as possible. Your pets, your kids. And if you don't want to go through the process with Wallet of Satoshi and doing that whole thing again, just grab one from, grab a free one, no friction, from rizful.com or coinos.io. Pretty simple. And so you're going to use these for a lot of different things. You will be able to buy things online with Lightning. You will be able to play games like on ZBD or Bitcoin Snake or anything, Fountain, where if you have a Lightning address now, you can actually earn free sats and send them there and earn sats online. You can zap on Nostr. You can get zapped. So it's pretty handy. Pretty handy. And here's what I wanted to say. This is my, last week we did a secret code. I'm going to do the same thing again this week. So if you have a Wallet of Satoshi address now, send me your new Wallet of Satoshi address, and I'll send a couple sats over, a couple sats, and maybe more. Who knows? To visionaries@proton.me. So make sure you spell it right there. And I'm also going to put this in the show notes as well, just in case people want to copy and paste it. But visionaries is kind of spelled differently. Visionaries@proton.me. So if you set up, if you watch this video and you set up a brand new Wallet of Satoshi address, send me an email to visionaries@proton.me and include your Lightning address in there. And I'll send you a couple sats. Collectible sats. No, just kidding. All sats are the same. I'm not one of those ordinals idiots. So that's the lesson for today. Again, final warning here. Final warning. Bitcoin School. And if you're just kind of joining us right now, go back and watch the show from the start, because there's a pretty important announcement for anybody out there who's looking to grow their conviction in Bitcoin, grow their knowledge, and set up a multi-sig in 2026. Bitcoin School starts January 1st. Current price is $8 per month. We've already had 5 people join during the stream here today. And it's going up to $21 a month on January 1st when the school is in session. So I'll just show that one more time, because this will be clipped into the weekend replay video here. So Yakioni, we don't want that up there. We want the visionaries. So here it is. Bitcoin School. And this starts on January 1st. So in 2 days from now, there's going to be a video posted every single day about Bitcoin on a variety of different topics, but it officially starts March 15th. If you're there early for the first couple months, you're going to get 2.5 months of bonus content. So you're going to learn about Noster. We're going to go through a couple different series that I really enjoyed about Bitcoin and from people that I enjoy listening to and more. And the focus here is going to be getting into a multi-sig. So every person who's going through this course, the end goal for 2026 is to either have a multi-sig set up or be like one step away from that. And in my opinion, if you're serious about Bitcoin, you need to get a multi-sig. And it's not something that you should just jump into, because that's how a lot of people lose their Bitcoin, is by trying to do things too quickly, too fast. And so this is going to be kind of stretched out over months. We're going to kind of take it one step at a time. It's going to be 10 or 15 minutes every day. You don't have to watch every episode if you don't want to. And then we're also going to have a live session, a private live session every week, starting in March, where we review it, the videos through the week, and we also have some Q&A in there. So my theory here for this is that if you do this right, you take this seriously, 2026, your family is going to be set up for the next 10 plus generations. And so again, I feel like I could honestly charge like $1,000 a month for this course based on what's going to be involved with it. I really believe that. But I'm sure you guys know I'm not in the business of ripping people off here. And this is going to be so incredibly important for these next couple decades. Not only having the conviction, not only having the support, but having the security that you need to help you sleep better at night. Because a lot of people have a lot of money invested in Bitcoin. And I know there's a lot of people out there who lose sleep over their security setup. So we're going to obviously start with like a hardware device that's going to be in the early months. And then we're going to eventually get into a multi-sig. And that's kind of like the main focus of this course of Bitcoin School, is that I want every Bitcoiner who's going through this to have a multi-sig at the end of it, without any holes or gaps or any potential things that could go wrong. So if you're a Bitcoiner, you already understand the importance of having a low time preference. And Bitcoin really isn't something that you can learn in a couple hours or a couple days or a couple weeks. It takes a lot of time. The whole ethos in Bitcoin is based around the proof of work. And that's what this course is going to be. So that's kind of the main downside to it, is that it's going to be a lot of work. But again, if you do it right, take it seriously, I really believe that your family will be set for the next 10 generations. And don't think of it as like, well, I only have a couple million sats. You don't understand how valuable those sats are going to be. Your main job is to make sure that your family has those sats in a couple decades from now, because that's the only thing that matters. And so that's what this course is going to be tailored to, is the whole process there, so that you can join very easily. School.com/88 sats. Oh my God, that's good. And again, if you join before January 1st, you're going to save about 67% monthly. And just the last note I'll say about that is, if you do join before January 1st and you lock in your $8 a month, that's your rate forever. So even when we bump it to $21 a month, you're still going to be paying the $8 a month. So if you're serious about it, I would take action in the next couple of days. And if not, you can just keep watching these, because I feel like these sessions have a lot of info too. Okay. That's it. So that was lesson 10. And if you're watching this on the Saturday, I hope you have a great day, and join us for the live show next Tuesday. And for everybody else, we got more to go. And it looks like Alaskan Wolf's having some fun in the chat. Can't wait to see those. Okay. Who's here? Jake. Is Noster still going? I don't think so. Oh, wow, we are. We got a couple here. Moravian zapped 1,000 sats and said, F you, which most people would take as an insult. But I know Moravian, and that stands for freedom units. And anybody who's been watching the show here understands the units of illusion versus the freedom units. So thank you, Moravian. And Cannon sent a couple of 88 sad zaps. Said, I like that. My goal will be multi-sig by the end of 2026. Yes, everybody who's going through that course, that's going to be our main goal for the year, is to get into a multi-sig. And again, the nice thing about a multi-sig is you can actually set it up properly where you have almost no Bitcoin at your house. And everybody is pretty worried. I know a lot of Bitcoiners worry about this. I worry about this myself, or I did worry about this until I kind of got my stuff set up properly. But everybody worries about the $5 wrench attack. And I feel like if you have multi-sig and you have your devices geographically dispersed, not only does that take a lot of pressure off of you in case something happens to your house, in case it burns down, in case there's a flood, in case whatever, somebody breaks in your house. You have it spread out. So you remove the single point of failure and you don't have to have any Bitcoin at your house. And I'll tell you, for somebody who spent a lot of years worrying about this, every time I laid my head on my pillow, it's nice knowing that I have hardly any Bitcoin here right now. And that's because of multi-sig. That's because of encryption with the 21 sats protocol. And that's everybody's end goal. So that's what we want to do in 2026 in the Bitcoin school. Okay. Shani. Wow. Shani said, I sent a 25,000 freedom units as a Christmas present. Oh, wow. Shani, I see it here. Thank you, my friend. Wow. That's pretty special, man. I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. And it looks like Arnie got some love here too. Who sent the Arnie boy? Oh, we got a 6102 attack from Bill. Thank you, Bill. And somebody sent here 88 sats and said, you resonate, brother. Love what you're doing. Wow. And then 1234, I thought that was from Jen, but it looks like it's from our guy, Cedar Sats. Thank you, Cedar Sats. And then a 124 to Arnie. Thank you, Shani. I see her in Noster still. I don't know how. It looks pretty bad to me. But I really appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Very, 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 very much. That's one of the members. That's the kind of people we got in the Visionaries community, man. We got Jake, 21 Hats. We got Shani. Just great people. And that comment there said, you resonate, brother. That's the kind of people that you're hanging out with in there. Not only are they going to be incredibly wealthy in the future, but it's just so refreshing to be able to talk to people and converse with people who are on the same frequency as you. It's something that a lot of people just don't have in their life. And I've been very fortunate to meet the people that I have in the last couple of years. So anyways, big shout out to everybody who's joined the Visionaries, everybody who's already in the Visionaries, and to Shani for the biggest zap of the day. Shani, my man. Paultron says, friggin' awesome. Cedar Sats over on the other one. Good to see the boys over there in the other one. Back on YouTube, Johnny Midas. Good to see you, Johnny. Andre, Santos, Sin Diesel, the man. Sin Diesel on both. Wow, look at that support. Nav says, don't have a lightning wallet, but donate 88 sats to your local church. I don't think my church has Bitcoin set up yet. There's Paul. If anybody wants to send Paulie some sats, I'll send him a couple sats right now. Oh, actually, Arnie's going to send you a couple sats, Paul. P-mail. That's a good name. See that? That's what I'm talking about. How easy is that? Hey, somebody's got to pay you for something. Yeah, just send it to pmail@rizful.com. Okay. You don't have to say it. You don't have to spell it. You don't have to copy and paste it. Pretty easy. We're going to send P-mail a couple sats here. There you go. Sent. That's what happens. Don't be afraid to ask. Halvard says, yes, Bitcoin is the superior version of physical cash. Couldn't agree more. Nice. It's okay, Doc says, I'm kind of used to being called a dipshit by now. Yeah. Look at that. Plunger says, let the sats fly. He zapped 1,000 units of freedom over on Noster. God bless. Thank you, Plunger. We got Juan. Juan says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, my friend. I keep forgetting it. Already, it kind of feels like it's a new year already, doesn't it? I don't know. What was I going to do here? Oh, I was going to tell Noster that, hey, the live chat's working. We are, in fact, live. It says Merry Christmas, though. Oops. It looks bad. We are, in fact, live. And I'm sure there's people over there like Shani and Plunger, Alex, Cannon, Moravian. Whenever I'm watching Rabbit Hole Recap on Noster, I'm usually jumping between YouTube and Noster. So I'm sure the boys are watching on a stream that looks good. Halvard says, Happy New Year in advance. I really think 2026 will be a much better year for Bitcoin and crypto than 2025. You know, that's kind of what I was saying. That's kind of what I was saying on the show this morning. I said, everybody talks about like having to go through a bear market in Bitcoin before you're, you know, considered a real Bitcoiner in a way. And I tend to agree with that, but I actually think that 2025, the year that we had, just because we started so hot, there was so much hype in Bitcoin. There were so many things happening. And the price was just going up and up and up and up and up and up. And everybody had such high expectations. We were talking about $200,000 Bitcoin, $300,000 Bitcoin. I said that I wouldn't be surprised if we hit $1 million in 2025. And truly, based on everything that I saw in the macro, I would not have been 1% surprised if we hit $1 million in 2025. But we didn't. And it was just kind of like the last 7 months in Bitcoin, almost ever since the Bitcoin conference. It was just like a slow chop downwards, then a little jump, and then a slow chop downwards. And so for me, I feel like, yeah, it's tough to get through a bear market, but going through a year like that with just so much promise and so much hype and so many expectations just for nothing to happen. If you're here at the end of 2025, you are, in my mind, a Bitcoiner, because it was horrible. It was horrible because in a bear market, those who understand Bitcoin, they're taking advantage of that. They're trading everything they can. They're selling their freaking second bed for Bitcoin. They're selling their second and third chairs for Bitcoin in a bear market because you can get a lot of sats for not a whole lot of dollars. But the year that we had, it was just kind of like this, where we never really got richer and we never really got Bitcoin on sale. It was just kind of torturous almost. And even for somebody who lives in a Bitcoin world where, I don't pay too much attention to the fiat price, I was kind of impacted by it this year because my YouTube channel was pretty much flatlined. I had to sell a lot of Bitcoin to pay for some expenses where I probably lost money on overall. And so it was tough. It was a tough year. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it was just like, everything's good. It is. You know what I mean? I don't have the ability to sit here and say, yeah, 2025 was awesome. We had this happen. It's like, yeah, but it was still shitty. So point is that if you got through 2025, you're probably here forever. So you got that going for you. Fully unhinged. Yes. No sponsors, no filter. God bless. From people like Shani and people like Duncan. Look at this. Duncan zapped 3,500 units of freedom. And he said, Merry Christmas, Jordan family. Thank you, Duncan. Cheers, buddy. People like Cannon, Moravian, Shani, Plunger, Duncan, Cedar, Jen. Those are the people that allow us to not have any sponsors on this channel. So God bless. Times a million. Happy New Year to you too, my friend. No subject is off limits. Yeah. If you watch the Daily Show, you'll understand that. Yeah, take a second here. I know that likes are pretty much an illusion, but it doesn't hurt. It's free to do. Dr. Carl. Dr. Carl's Jr.'s in the chat. Glorious. Great name. Paul Tron says, I took George's advice a couple days ago. Look at that. He's got Pmail at Rizful and Pmail at Wall of Satoshi. That's setting yourself up for the future. Good man. Good man. Hey, Dean, look at this. Dean says, what's up, people? Hey, George, just sent some sats. Thank you, Dean. I don't know which ones they were, but I appreciate it. Either way, where does Dean send to usually? Arnie's? I'm guessing that was the 124, Dean. Either way, thank you. Love the private mindset. Yeah, there was a post on Nostr today, actually, and it resonated with me, which was this one from Pity. Pities. Pity says, too many Bitcoin influencers, not enough sovereign individuals. So that's the, I forgot to mention this too. Frick. But in our visionaries community here, with the new Bitcoin school starting, I'm also going to give a free membership to our Bitcoin Citadel school for anybody that joins. And our Bitcoin Citadel community has some really, really good resources for anybody out there who is looking to increase their Bitcoin security, looking to set up a privacy phone like Graphene OS, run a privacy laptop with Linux, live on a Bitcoin standard. All those kind of resources are in our Bitcoin Citadel school. So anybody who joins the Visionaries, I'm also going to give a free lifetime membership to the Bitcoin Citadel school. So you can kind of hop in between both and you won't miss a beat. That's kind of another thing that's underrated about that is, just staying up to date with security stuff. Like if you're trying to navigate Bitcoin on your own with Twitter or Reddit or whatever, good luck. But whether it's in a signal chat like we're going to have with the Bitcoin school, Bitcoiners, or whether it's on school, there's always people looking for things. There's always people sharing, did you see this? Anybody who has this might be impacted by this. Check this out. It's truly invaluable in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a lonely freaking place, man. Bitcoin is way superior to cash. 100%. I forgot to even talk about that on the show today. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this quickly, because you have to think about this. Why do people like cash? Do you think they like the looks of the presidents and prime ministers, the colors, the material? In Canada here, you can actually wash the bills in the washer, plastic. No, it's because you give it to somebody or somebody gives it to you and nobody else knows that transaction happened. And so if you have a wallet of Satoshi and you send it to my wallet of Satoshi, who's in the middle there? It's the exact same. Like if I went to get my hair cut and I gave my hairdresser a $20 bill for a tip, nobody knows that transaction happened. Just like if I had a wallet of Satoshi and she had a wallet of Satoshi or he had a wallet of Satoshi, but that's it. I send them 20,000 sats. Who knows that happened? My name's not attached to that account. My government ID is not attached to that account. My phone number is not attached to that account. So it's like the same characteristics of cash, but you can do it in a much more sovereign way, actually, because just like gold, silver, anything that you can hold physically, that's only yours until somebody more powerful comes along and takes it from you. But with Bitcoin, you have it on Lightning, You move it to your cold storage. You set up a multi-sig. Nobody can take that from you, no matter how many guns they have. I really think that that's probably the most underappreciated part of Bitcoin. So that's why I probably should have mentioned that in the lesson. But anyways, that's that. Alaskan Wolf. Hey, Jordan. I don't know who Jordan is, but anyways. Long time no see. Still saying delusional. Yes, 100%. Delusional in the terms, in the sense of most people. Proudly. 60 cents Aussie gets me 460 sats roughly every hour. Nice, Dean. Hey, Dean, how are you doing that? Is that with Strike? Look at this. It's okay, Doc says, I claimed my Rizful address yesterday. I like Wallet Satoshi because it has a phone app. So does Rizful. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's available on iOS, though, actually. Alexandra. Alex is here. Says, hello, everyone. Hey, Alex. Alaskan Wolf. I don't know how many of these I'm going to entertain, but we'll give him a couple shots here. Every time when I explain what difficulty is, you call us names, Jordan. Hey, Alaskan Wolf, I'll do you a solid here. If you want to keep talking, here I'll give you a chance. Legitimately, if you send me an email right now. Send me an email right now and say I want to join the show, or just send me an email, and I'll send you the link to the show. And you can hop on here with me and you can explain the difficulty adjustment. And actually, this is going to be the only chat that I read of yours unless you do that. Because it's easy to sit like a coward, a faceless coward in the chat and just spew nonsense. But if you want to hop on, I'll give you a platform. You can come on with me. You'll be right here. I'll even put my arm around you. So shoot me an email right now if you want to hop on. Because otherwise you're just talking, you're just wasting time. You're just wasting time. So I'll give you a platform. If you want to come on and explain the difficulty adjustment and why it's important, hop on. I'm ready for it. Hey, look who it is, the Grinder. Is that 420 sats? Great number there, Grinder. Thank you, my friend. Love me some Grinder. What's the deadline for special price for school? January 1st. 2 days. What if we're wrong? What if we're right? That's what I mean. Unlimited upside. I shouldn't say zero downside, but pretty much zero downside. Look who it is, Lauren. Good to see you, Lauren. Is Strike a good wallet in the UK? I think so. I'm not in the UK. I've actually never used Strike before, but I like Maulers. Jelly says, I like Speed Wallet. They give you extra 10% more when you buy Satoshis with them. And they have zero withdrawal fees to other Lightning wallets. I wonder how they do that. I wonder how they get away with 10% more. You always got to ask questions like that. How? Why? The couple reasons I don't like Speed Wallet and why I stopped recommending it and using it myself is they're obviously making a big push to KYC people. That's number one. There's been a lot of people who have logged on and said you have to KYC yourself. And Lightning wallets, you should never put your name or your phone number or anything into a Lightning address. And actually, even though you have a Wallet Satoshi address that you connect with your email address, you should have a fresh email address that doesn't have your name in it. But you should also just have like a random Rizful address that you can use for like other dealings. Your custom Wallet Satoshi address will kind of be like your business email almost. your professional email address. So whatever you use is like your number one email address, that's kind of what your wallet of Satoshi will be. But then you have some like burner accounts with Gmail, maybe Yahoo, maybe Hotmail, maybe Proton. That's where you have other Rizful, Koinos, things like that. But I don't like speed. But that's one. Two is because you can't send notes. You can't send notes in speed, which is an important part of Lightning. Number three was what? They do updates like every day. Have you noticed that? Every time I log into Speed, it's like, oh, you can't open your wallet until you update it. Why so many updates, Speed? And there's another big one too. I forget what it is though now. Tim, it was rested pipe. It was well-rested pipe. Arthur says, doing God's work, Jor. This is wild, like I'm on drugs, experience an alternate universe. Wow. Comment of the year right there, folks. This is wild, like I'm on drugs, experiencing an alternate universe. Hey, that's where we live, man. That was our community before the visionaries here. Adam was there. Adam's been there. Timbercrafter's been there. Look at all these freaking faces. But that's what the community was called before, living in the future. Because we're literally, and that's how I started the show today. I said, everything in life is all about the lens that you see the world through. Like 100% of it. I mean, I shouldn't say 100%, but like 99% of it is all how you see the world. And if you're optimistic about things and you're hopeful for the future, that's the lens that you're seeing things through. If you have the vision, that's why we call it the visionaries, to see the world under a Bitcoin standard and direct your time and energy and attention to that. That's your life. And so the purpose of living in the future was to live in a world where one sat already equals $1. Because when you live in a world like that, most people who are in there, I think everybody, kind of agreed that that's what was going to happen. So why not just live that now? Why wait for the world to tell us that? So, it kind of is an alternate universe here. If you're hanging out with Bitcoiners and interacting with Bitcoiners all day, which we do, it's like a different world than most people experience. Adam, Sharon B says, screenshot it. He says, that's all I have on my phone is George spreadsheets. Oh, good shit there, Sharon. Hopefully you have a folder at least so they're not bugging you. Good to see you, Sharon B. Also a member of the Visionaries community. Legend. Rich, good to see you, Rich, over on YouTube today. Carl's Jr. says, thanks, Jor. Thank you. Lauren says, highly recommend the Visionaries. Another visionary there. I mean, I'm telling you, if you're serious about this stuff, and I would honestly tell people to join even if you consider yourself to be a Bitcoin expert, because I don't underestimate the power of a network in Bitcoin. Again, future multi-millionaires, some billionaires. There's billionaires in this chat right now. There's billionaires in the Visionaries community. That's the people you want to surround yourself with. You ever heard that expression before? You are the average of your environment. Most people have heard like you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, but you're the average of your environment. So, Visionaries right there. Jolly, Hart, Kev, Sat Street, 21 Sat Street. Sneed says, George, some of us own both metals and Bitcoin. We understand all debasement as well. Yeah, but it's just different. It's different. It's just different. Gold and silver holders have a very dark vision of the future. And that's how they see the world. They're waiting for Mad Max. They're waiting for a doomsday. They're waiting for collapse. But people don't understand that there is, even though people kind of group them together like gold, silver, Bitcoin, They are completely different. They share a lot of qualities, but there's a couple things that Bitcoin has that precious metals don't have. Number one is the ability to self-custody. Truly own it. We just talked about that. Whether it's cash, gold, silver, physical silver. You might say, well, yeah, Jor, I can put it in my safe in my house. I have self-custody of that. Yeah, you do. Until somebody more powerful than you comes along, whether that's a government, an army, police force, a random person with a bigger gun than you. It's yours until they take it from you. With Bitcoin, if you set it up properly, using something like a multi-sig, geographically dispersed, somebody comes to your house, they can't do anything with your Bitcoin. You don't understand how powerful that is. Number two, you can't send Bitcoin or you can't send gold and silver through a QR code. And you might say, well, Jor, yeah, but there's going to be digital silver and digital gold, tokenized. Yeah, but you have to trust somebody that gold that they have, they actually have. Not only they have it, but it's real. So with gold and silver, you have to trust somebody else. And until they solve that, it's going to be infinitely worse and inferior to Bitcoin. So think about that. Yes, you can tokenize gold. Yes, you can tokenize Bitcoin, but you still have to trust a third party, whoever's holding your gold and silver, that they actually have it. And the third thing, and I would say most importantly, is that there's a fixed total supply of Bitcoin. Absolute scarcity. And most people don't understand it because the world's never seen anything like that before. There's never been anything that existed that has absolute scarcity. This number right here, there will only ever be 2 quadrillion, 99 trillion, 999 billion, 997 million, 690,000 sats. Right now, you can buy 1,000 of these sats, these scarce units, for $1. And every amount that you have in here, that's your ownership of the network, of the world, because everything's going to be repriced in Bitcoin. And nobody can ever debase that. If you do it properly, nobody can steal that from you. And you can do whatever you want with it. It is the most sovereign tool that humans have ever had before. So there's a big difference. Gold has a 2% inflation. I don't know what silver is. But there's a massive difference between a 2% inflation and no inflation. And Bitcoin already has a lower inflation rate than gold. And we still have 100 more years to decrease that. Plus, you don't know, if you had 1,000 sats or 1,000,000 sats, you know how much of this network you have. You know the exact percentage. And that's the bottom, right? We've talked about that before. That's the bare minimum of your ownership because there's a lot of coins that have been lost. So if you had 1,000,000 sats, you divide it by this, that's your ownership of the world. Because Bitcoin is going to be the reserve. Bitcoin is going to be the unit of account in the future because it just makes sense. And so you know the exact, if you have an ounce of silver, how much of the network do you own? Jerry lives free of me, talks about this all the time. Him and I see things very similarly. But he was more of a precious metal stacker than I was. I just had some silver. But he said, if you have a gold coin, what's your percentage of the network? We don't know how many silver coins are out there or how many gold coins are out there. You have no idea. So that's why I don't recommend people own both. I mean, you could have a bit. I don't myself. I have a little bit of silver, but nothing that's like, of importance. You need Bitcoin and you need cash. Shout out to Rajat. Shout out to MicroStrategy who followed Rajat's advice. And that's it. That's all you need. Kev says, I remember this combo back in Vegas, your Steak and Shake. What combo? About the price? Look at this. Lanky Lemon sold his sister for sats. Love that. Oh, I should have checked Alaskan Wolf. Are you coming on or what? Alaskan Wolf, are you coming on? What you waiting for, man? Come on, hop on. Otherwise, you're irrelevant, man. You're sitting in the chat just talking nonsense. So if you want to come on and explain the difficulty adjustment, I'll invite you on. I'll check my email here quickly, see if he emailed. Alaskan Wolf. Nothing yet. Shocker. Shocker. I thought at least 110K by the end of the year, but I was wrong. But not complaining or mad about it. Take advantage of it. Yeah, I know, but it's like still, it's shitty. M. Vincent. Would using the fear and greed index below 30 to be a better buy strategy than DCA? Yes, 100%. That's literally what we do. And we should maybe do that right now. We should maybe do that right now while we're hot. I already bought some Bitcoin today, but I mean, I don't use that per se. I don't use the fear and greed index, but we buy every day here on the show. But on the 88 lessons, we do it every week. So what is this? Did we not do a show last week, or did I just not remember to do this? I'm pretty sure we did a show. 29. Okay, so at this time of the show, everybody buys a little bit of Bitcoin. And the point of this is that it does not matter how much you buy. It only matters that you buy. Do this every day. Take 50 cents, $1, $2, whatever you can spare, and just buy some sats every single day. And keep record of it too. I think this is going to be really, really cool to look back on in a couple of years. So this strategy, you're using the fear and greed. I just go by this. I just go by if it's up from yesterday, I buy like less. If it's even from yesterday, I buy the usual amount. And if it's down from yesterday, then you buy a little bit more. So then when it's up for a couple of days, you buy a little bit less, but then it goes down and you actually get some more sats. So I think this is the best strategy. It'd be very similar to that. And Vincent, like it's the same kind of thing. It's called like intelligent DCA. So where are we at from last week here? What was the price of Bitcoin last week? So everybody who's here watching the show, I got a 420 freedom units from Bjarni over on Noster. Very nice. 420. We got a couple from the Grinder and from Bjarni. Thanks, fellas. Much appreciated. Oh, look at that. $88,000 Bitcoin. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so if we go to 7 days, what were we at 7 days ago? How do I look at that now? The price was below 80. So we're about 1% up in the last week. So I would consider that to be even. If it's like between 1 to 2% or 0 to 2%, I would consider that to be pretty much even. So we're going to just do another 11 today. So we'll see what we get. It should be pretty close to this 9,000 sats. So what I'm going to ask here is that if you're watching and if you're wanting to participate in this, let us know how much you spent in terms of your units of illusion, your dollars, and how much you got in terms of your freedom units, your sats. So I'm going to do $11 here. Oh, look at that. 3 sats off. Pretty much exactly even from last week. 9,005 sats. So if you did buy some Bitcoin today, if you traded some dollars or units of illusion for sats, throw it in the chat. It's kind of cool to go through because you can tell which currencies are better. The US, if I spent $11 in the US, I probably would have got like 12,000. If I spent $11 in Europe or the UK, I probably would have got like 13,000. So that's why there's no price of Bitcoin. Everybody says, what's the price of Bitcoin? When the price of Bitcoin is this is the price of Bitcoin. There's no price. There's just exchange rates between fiat currencies and Bitcoin, sats. And all the fiat currencies are backed by nothing. They have zero value other than tricking people into using them, forcing people into using them. So that's the idea here. It does not matter how much you buy. It only matters that you buy. So if you did buy some Bitcoin today, throw in the chat and we will discuss. So good question there, M. Vincent. Gerald says, LTC is better, faster, cheaper to use than Bitcoin. Somebody who does not have their green light on. If you think that Litecoin is better, cheaper, faster to use than Bitcoin, then you've never used the Lightning Network, my friend. Sharon B says, I sent Lucky some catnip. Oh, shit, I have it on here now. I keep forgetting that. Sorry, Sharon B. Rizzy. Where's Lucky's Rizzy? I think Lucky's on this one. Yep. 555 freedom units from Sharon B. Thank you, Sharon B. Very much. Okay, where's the wolf? The wolf's hiding. The wolf ain't much of a wolf. I'd say more like a stuffed wolf. The stuffed wolf is hiding. Oh, what did I miss here? I missed a couple. Lightning equals no fees too. Exactly. Yep. So they've clearly just never used the Lightning Network. If they think that the Lightning or the Litecoin is better, cheaper, and faster to use than Bitcoin, then they've never used Lightning before. Litecoin is not better than Lightning, and Lightning hasn't appreciated as much as Bitcoin. However, I do like Litecoin. I actually don't mind Litecoin either. I don't really have more than, I think I have a couple Litecoin. Like, it's not bad, but it has nothing compared to Bitcoin. If your main stack is Litecoin, you couldn't be in a worse spot because you're like so close to getting it, so close to where you're going, but you just got tripped up. It's like anybody who owns like Zcash or XRP or Caspa. It's like, that's the worst place to be because you're so close and you're just like missing the plot. And at some point in the future, all these people are going to have so much regret, but you can't tell them that now. They won't listen. Senior Gringo Poppy. Yo. Good to see it. Why is Proton Network XRP utilized by Doge and credit unions? Gerald, I have no freaking clue what you're talking about, my friend. Your Canadian truckers would have been better off taking cash. Bitcoin is not fungible. Boy. Oh, here's another, should be Soy Boy. Here's another troll in the chat. Your Canadian truckers would have been better off taking cash. Well, disagree with that. There was some issues with the way they set up the Bitcoin stuff with the Canadian truckers. And actually, the Bitcoin was the only thing that they were left with at the end of it. So, and Poi Boy, how would you have recommended that people send cash into the truckers? In the mail? Poi Boy and Alaskan Wolf, definitions of 0-hour dipshits. Anyways, the wolf's hiding. Of course, he just disappears. As soon as you ask him to come and talk, gonzo. Gonzo. Actually, I'll give Poi Boy the opportunity too. Soy Boy, if you want to hop up on stage here, I'll have you on the show. We can chat for a couple minutes, see what your take is. I'd love to. I bet you won't, though. I bet you won't. Nice picture, by the way. Nice picture. Buy Bitcoin Cash. Oh, Luke. I see a wink face there, but yeah, do not buy Bitcoin Cash. Okay, Brett, happy holidays, compadres. Good to see you, Brett. Speaking of visionaries, a couple visionaries here. 10 out of 10 recommend joining the visionaries. Best decision I ever made. There you go. I don't even have to market this. People in the chat doing it for me. People in the chat doing it for me. Oh, Speedwall added notes. Nice. Making money on stablecoin fees. They have a location in the United States now. However, they do require KYC. Yeah, you shouldn't be using a Lightning wallet that has KYC. Actually, I'm gonna go through this too because this is kind of important. Where could I put this here? So last week I asked some people to I asked some people to send an email and I'd send them some sats. And this is what I received. I received some Bitcoin addresses. I received some Lightning invoices. I received some Proton addresses. And I received some, I got some wallet Satoshis, which was good. But those people were all using like the generic wallet Satoshi addresses. But I also got some like Strike addresses. And I'm like, yeah, Strike's great, like when you need it. But you shouldn't be using, I mean, if we just go through this line by line, like Bitcoin, not compatible. I can't send you Bitcoin from a Lightning wallet to your Bitcoin address, your BC1 address. So not compatible with like a BC1 address on the Bitcoin Layer 1 network. Lightning invoices. I couldn't do it. Actually, it froze Lucky's account because I tried sending it to an invoice. Not compatible. Proton addresses, not compatible. Wallet Satoshi, generic. So people were using like the original Wallet Satoshi, like what was mine? Rested Pipe 61. And then Strike addresses. These are fully KYC'd. Fully KYC'd. You shouldn't be, I like Strike. Like I like the fact that they have Lightning withdrawals and you can send Lightning, but don't use your Strike address for like sending Bitcoin to each other because your government issued ID is attached to that. And same with speed. You shouldn't be using Lightning wallets that have KYC requirements. Look at this. We got Prodigy 1210. Jor, I'm out in the mountains. Just dropped in to support the show and say hi. Wow, love that. Bitcoin Journeyman, Prodigy. Thanks for dropping by and thank you for the support, my friend. Oh yeah, let's throw that school address up there just in case there's people who are like, should I? $8 a month, is that worth it? It's funny, people just drop $8 on a fucking Starbucks coffee. And they're like, I have a chance to change my family's bloodlines here. I'm going to have to think about this one. I'm going to have to take the night and think about this one. My $8 a month. But you walk up to Starbucks, some evil corporation who pours you a shitty coffee and you're like, yep, tap. It's just hard. It's hard to suck people out of the fiat mindset. But yeah. Look at this guy. Oh, Wilson from Home Improvement's back. Hey, dipshit Jor, I already explained in the comments. No, you didn't. You just copy and pasted a AI summary of it. Hop on. Are you like, what are you worried about? If you can explain it properly, then hop on. What's the problem? I know why, because you don't know what you're talking about. And that's why you're a nobody. That's why you're a faceless dipshit in the chat. Because you have no idea what you're talking about. Clearly. Rich spent 10 euros and got 12,172 sats. What a trade. Cedar Sats spent 50 Canadian cuckbucks for 40,939 freedom units. Nice. What a trade. Luke got, wow, I haven't seen AUD for a while here. So AUD is probably pretty similar to the Canadian dollar then in terms of the exchange because Luke spent 11 AUDs and got 83. Actually, it might be worse than the Canadian. Yikes. But then you got look at this. These are perfect examples of the differences in currencies. Euros, $10 got 12,000 sats. Pounds, 10 pounds got 15,000 freedom units. Wow. Crazy. It's crazy that the UK has like the strongest currency. I just don't understand that, but what do I know? Villain Julian got my cold card queue for Christmas. Wow, what a gift. What a gift. Don't feed the fish. Yeah. I'm giving him a chance. But he's scared. I'm like, it's zero. I'm 0% surprised. It's like, it's funny. He said, what was the bottom part here? Do something useful. Like, imagine, here's the thing is like, imagine you only have so many minutes and hours on Earth, and you're spending that time, which time is like the most important currency that we have. Truly, time is more scarce than Bitcoin, and time is really the only currency that matters. And this guy's spending his precious time listening to somebody that he clearly doesn't like. Like, that's a sin to me. That's a sin. That's a sin. KYC, a big problem they require with everything, even buying alcohol soon. There will be a digital ID with biometric fingerprints. Virgin Bitcoin will be worth millions soon. I mean, it's one of those things, right? It's like, you can worry about it all you want, but it's like you can just choose not to. That's kind of what been the theme today. Is like you get to decide. It's like Goosebumps. It's like Goosebumps. You guys ever read those books as kids where it's like choose your own adventure? That's literally life. You can choose to see the world through an optimistic lens, through a hopeful lens, that things are going to get better and you're going to be part of that. You can see that way if you want to. Or you can see it the way Alaskan Wolf here does. And I really feel sorry for people like that. I really do. We're one member away from 100 on the Visionaries community. I want to have 100 people going through the Bitcoin school with us. We're 100. We're one person away from 100. Who's it going to be? Who's going to be the hundo? Hey, look who it is. Parker. Long time no see. Good to see you, buddy. Great to see you, my man. Oh, it looks like Noster finally cut out. Oh, maybe not. No, we're still live there. Wow. Wow. Look at this. No wonder there's not a whole lot of people on Noster today. Yikes. Woof. NPub1KMU says, didn't the founder of Litecoin mention that people should just buy Bitcoin? Yeah. But it's the same kind of thing. It's the unibuys. People see that they can buy like 2 Litecoin for $200. So they're like, oh, shit. If Litecoin ever gets to be $100,000 like Bitcoin, then I'm going to be laughing. But it's just people who haven't put in the work. It's just people who haven't put in the work to understand it. And there's a lot of people out there. The worst kind of people are the ones who haven't spent any time actually learning, but still feel like they have an opinion about Bitcoin. That'd be like me going to hopping on a live chat for breastfeeding mothers. I hop in the chat. I'm like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. You guys are scamming people. You're breastfeeding your kids. That's disgusting. Be the same kind of thing. Me, who spent 0 time understanding or researching or anything about breastfeeding kids, and me having no ability to breastfeed kids, it's the same kind of thing. It's just people have no clue what they're talking about, but they still have an opinion on it. That's the crazy part. That's just kind of a summary of the world right now. It's like, it's okay if you don't understand, but just shut up. Do some work. Do some work. I've been in Bitcoin for 5 years now, and I've pretty much spent 80% of my waking hours thinking about Bitcoin, reading about Bitcoin, listening to Bitcoin, watching Bitcoin. Hey, we got our 100th member there. I just heard it. And it's like the further I get into down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, the more conviction I have over it. Because that's kind of like the I forget what the curve's called there. The one where it goes up and you have like a very small knowledge of something and you think you're an expert in it, but then you realize that you actually know nothing about it. Dunning-Kruger effect. And it's like, okay, well, I know nothing about this. So I should maybe spend a little bit more time. And then it's like, okay, I don't know anything about this. And so you put in more time. You're like, what am I missing here? This seems almost too good to be true. There it is. There's Forrest right there. Dunning-Kruger. Hey, Forrest. Good to see you, buddy. But then you make it your personal mission. You make it your personal mission to like figure out, what am I missing here? Why am I the only one that sees this? Am I wrong about this? And then the deeper you go into it, you're like, holy shit. How are people not seeing this? Dunning-Kruger. Forrest picks me up when I need it most. Parker says, I'm tempted to buy a cold card queue, but it would be just for fun. No real need. Buying the sats would make more sense. What do you mean? Like you already have a cold card queue? I got Arnie here on my hat. I mean, I have a couple queues here that I keep at the house that are just for kind of messing around with, playing, practicing, doing videos on and shit. If you're getting a cold card, actually, make sure you put this on top of your cold card, everybody here. Then you don't get scammed like I almost did. Pre-flight checklist. I put this right on top of my cold card. Verify the address. Is it legit? Verify the privacy. Is there a trace my Bitcoin? Is this legit? Verify the person, the receiver of your Bitcoin. Are they legit? Then at least you create a little bit of friction before you go to send some Bitcoin to somebody you shouldn't. But yeah, this is the queue. Actually, shout out to Forrest. Forrest made a really good video today talking about my least favorite wallet, the Tangem. But look at how sexy this thing is. And a little hack. This is a free tip for anybody who's stuck around this long. You see those two slots there in the back? You can kind of see them there at the bottom. Right here. These two slots. You can actually put your micro SD cards in there. It's a micro SD card holder. So you don't have to like leave it in the device or something or worry about losing it. Forget who told me that. So that's the cold card queue. Highly, 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 highly recommend it. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. If anybody's considering getting one, I'll share a link for you. You get 5% off. 5% off. It helps. I'd get a couple of them actually, because you're going to want to get a couple, because you're going to want to get a multi-sig at some point, especially if you're going through the Bitcoin school. And shout out to the 100th member that just joined. I won't say the full name, but it was Martins from the United Sats of Freedom. Wow, Martins is living in his own country. Love that. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. Okay, what else do we have here? We'll keep going. I got a little bit of stuff today, but I'm enjoying this back and forth. This is my favorite part about Bitcoin. So we'll hang out here as long as there's some conversation. Breast plants do not affect breastfeeding. I knew I shouldn't have went there. I knew that was going to come back to bite me. We had a couple. The wallet that Satoshi gave me was rusted. Was it rusted pipe or arrested pipe? think it was Rested Pipe. Oh, you have to love it. You must be new. Arn, what time is it, son? Where is Arnie? He was here at the start of the show today, I thought. Maybe not. Where is Arnie boy? Cold Card Q is cut and dry, the best sign device money can buy. You won't regret it. Incredible product. Look at that. Great, great live testimonial there. We got a lot of great testimonials today for the school community, for the Cold Card Qs. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think that Cold Card is probably the most misunderstood. A lot of people are intimidated by the Cold Card, but I actually think it's probably the easiest one to use. I shouldn't say that. Like the Trezor, you basically plug it into a laptop and it takes you through step by step. Trezor is probably easier. But in terms of like an air gap device, both the Cold Card Q and the Foundation Passport are significantly easier to use than some of the other devices out there. Look at this, Letha. Letha sent 5,000 Freedom units and said, "Hi, Jor," with 4 exclamation marks. I miss the lives, but I've been watching later. Have a great Tuesday. Kind regards. Letha with the smiley face. God bless, Letha. Thank you very, very much. And that was a tribute to our guy, Praetorian. One of the biggest supporters, along with Letha and Josh, of the 88 Sat channel. Okay, I kind of want to argue, but I don't want to give him any sort of platform. If you want to come on, Wolfie, Stuffed Wolf, you can come on, man. I'm here. Like, I just don't know what you benefit from typing in that. You just look stupid. Like you're wasting your time and you look like a dummy. Like what's the point? I just don't get it. I know I have an MK4 and I don't necessarily need another sign device right now. Yeah. The Cold Card Q though is something. I've used a bunch of sign devices and the Q is by far the easiest, most convenient. There we go. MK4 is also great. I love the MK4. I got a couple MK4s myself, but the Q is definitely easier to like navigate. Marco says, "Thanks, Jor, for helping." Thanks, Marco. Appreciate it, buddy. I think that's the Marco from our Visionaries community there. MK4 for long-term cold storage and Cold Card Q to learn all options in practice. That's a good idea too. I would say that you actually want to have a couple of each. And then you can set up a multi-sig with us in the Bitcoin school. Love that. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of, a Game Boy. It's the exact same thing. Tangent is crap. Yes, exactly like Forrest said. I said, God bless when Forrest made that video today. Forrest has the Schiff edition. What is that? The gold flakes? That one's actually kind of sexy. Like gold looks good. Gold looks good on a earring and a watch and a cold card. Like I love gold. Like Gold member, I love gold. But it's just not, it's far inferior to Bitcoin. Oh, I love it. I love it. How could you not? Jelly says, obviously you need some cash to DCA and some water, food, and other things, but Bitcoin is where people need to focus. 100% agree. 100% agree. Sharon B, look at this. Jor's not here. Says, real boobs matter. Sharon trying to get me in trouble on here. I will say that I strongly agree with that. I strongly agree with that. Okay. Let's we're still live on Nostr somehow, some way. Oh, it was Bjarni that said, didn't the founder of Litecoin mention that people should just buy Bitcoin? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, speaking of forests, speaking of the not Alaskan wolf, the stuffed wolf, um, where I'm going to share a video in the next couple days here from Maple Bitcoin, and it actually talks about not being 100% in Bitcoin, but how you should be thinking about your strategy. And this is something that I'm going to be implementing into my own strategy for 2026. And I will warn you, it does have nothing to do with Litecoin or gold or silver or anything else. But I think it's the path forward. Dr. Carl says, man, I bought a tangible but never used it. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of a waste of money, but it's a good thing you didn't put real money on that thing. Arthur says, I wish CoinKite site was priced in Canadian dollars. Being a Canadian company and made in Canada, wouldn't it be nice if they allowed Canadian money at par for fellow Canadians? I mean, it's smart though, because you log in there and you're like, oh, cold card's only $250. No problem. And then you go to check out in American money and it's like, holy shit, $50,000? Not quite, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, they serve a worldwide network. So, you know, I don't hate the idea of pricing things in USD. I wish that I would have priced our website in USD. But yeah, he says he regretting making Litecoin. I think that was Charlie Lee, right? Charlie Lee. Passphrase are super easy with the Q. Yeah, no doubt. Very easy. And I love the fact that if you use a passphrase and you're connected to your passphrase wallet, it actually will say that at the top. So you can kind of, get used to that. And then when you don't see that at the top, that's when you're like, okay, I'm missing something here. Zimu says they sell the world and far more people reference USD than CAD. They are no doubt aware that their product is expensive. It's okay. It's not for everyone. Buy what you want. I mean, I kind of agree with that. More expensive, but again, I really think that people are really underestimating how much Bitcoin is going to be worth and not that far away. It's like, okay, let's say that you have 5 million sats, you got 5 million sats kicking around. You've been stacking hard. You just got into Bitcoin. Maybe you're trying to learn as much as you can. You got 5 million sats. And you're like, well, I don't really need a cold card, or 10 million sats. I don't really need a cold card yet. I'd rather just buy Bitcoin. It'd be like if you kind of subscribe to the theory as I do that one day one Satoshi is going to be worth $1, and then one Satoshi is going to be worth $2, and then one Satoshi is going to have the purchasing power of $5. Let's just start with 1-to-1 though. 10 million sats. Let's say that you had $10 million in cash. Wouldn't you be having some security around that? Would you want to just leave it on? Would you want to just leave it on a random exchange? Wouldn't you want to? Would you just be leaving it in a briefcase sitting on your kitchen table or on your office desk or by your bed? You had 10 million cash sitting around? I doubt it. But just because the world hasn't told you that that's what it's worth yet, that doesn't mean that it's not going to be. So I would say like anything other than a cold card queue would be a waste of money. It's more expensive, yes, but it's like, why not protect it the best way that you possibly can? I don't know. 50 million sats on Venmo. Exactly. Dean says, can confirm Strike's a great service. Hourly DCA option and deposit withdrawals work quickly. So that's in Australia, I believe, right? Parker says, Strive is sitting at 1x MNAV right now. Still too much, in my opinion. Why is it too much, you might say? Because if you can own $10,000 worth of Bitcoin and keep it in your own cold card queue in your own multi-sig, Why would you want to leave it with somebody else? Plus, public companies have a shitload of like admin expenses every year, just completely unnecessary ways of spending money for reporting, for audits, for compliance, for regulation. So they're just wasting money. I don't like it. I don't like the play. I think if you're going to invest in any treasury companies, strategy is the only option. My opinion. Many hardware wallets and cold wallets issues, but I never heard anything going bad with cold card. You can set multiple DCA as well with Strike, just one of each time frame, one hourly, one. Oh, I love that. Kramer. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, like he's talking to the wind. He clearly doesn't even listen to what I say. It's crazy that he's wasting time and not even listening. Us Bitcoiners get it. We diversify. We have some food, water, shelter, and some cash. Cash is kind of like the second component of it. You don't need anything else. You really don't. It's a big freaking water bottle. I feel like it's waterboarding me. Oh, who just zapped over on Nostr? Who was that? I can't see the username. Oh, Bjarni again. Stream working good now. Yeah, it just kind of kicked in for me too. That's what was making all that noise. All right. What else we got going on here? We're just heating up, apparently. 2 hours into this. We got more to go. I'm good if you're good. MDRX says I did multi-vendor multi-sig with a Ledger Nano S. Wow, that's a mouthful. For a while, the Ledger device failed on me. Interesting. Managed to move coins safely, but man, I sweated I won't use Ledger again. Yeah, Ledger is just I would literally rather hold my Bitcoin on an exchange than on a Ledger. Not any exchange, like probably not Mt. Gox. But like River, for sure. River's the only exchange that I know that shows proof of reserves. That's why I actually prefer River to Strike. Bitcoin, well, they don't hold any sats, so they don't have to show proof of reserves. They don't hold anybody's Bitcoin. That's why I have no issues promoting them, because it's impossible to be rugged by Bitcoin well. Wow, look at this. We got 8,888 legendary Zap Freedom units from our guy, Joshua. And Josh says, Luxter, claw twice for disconnecting and enjoying the holidays, eh? Amen, buddy. Thank you, Josh. Josh is the man. Josh is the man. Yeah, howling at the wind. Exactly. That's right. That's exactly what he's doing. Sin says, finally, Nostr got rid of the pixelated Jor face. Yeah, maybe Kieran fixed it or something. I don't know. Cedar Sat says, not sure if you mentioned it or not, but Forrest has done some really good short videos about using different features of the queue. Yes. Definitely, if you're not already subscribed to Bitcoin Not Crypto, who is my partner in crime, one of my partners in crime with Maple Bitcoin, make sure you go check it out. Bitcoin Not Crypto. Great name, great logo, great dude. Parker says, I have the same opinion on treasury companies, but I put a small amount of sats in there for fun. That's fair. Long Bitcoin, long bottle. That's right. Hey, look at that. Kieran. I just said, maybe Kieran fixed it for me. And then like 5 seconds later, Kieran says, yeah, I did. Kieran, who is the creator of Zapstream, is over there in the chat right now. He said server bugged out, restarted it. There we go. We're back in business. So hopefully now, Kieran, let me check this right now, because I wasn't able to fund my wallet earlier. And I think I'm in the minuses right now for sats. I owe. I'm in debt. Hopefully this works here now. Let's see. Nope, still not working. So Kieran, I don't know if you're still in the chat or not, but is there a way to fund my Zapstream account? Oh, wow. Why does it say I have so many hours? I don't know what happened there. Kieran, you got to check the balance here. There was a big, it says I have 400 hours now. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, the goat of the stream today here. We've had some goats. We had Shani with a big zap of the day. But look at this. Look at this. I don't usually swear on the show here, but look at this fucking legend right here. Kieran put 60,000 sats worth of time in my account. Look at that. That's what I was saying there. Oh, I don't know where it went now. Wow. That made my whole freaking week here, Kieran. Not only are we back on Zapstream now, but that's wow. Thank you, my friend. That's the kind of people you got in Bitcoin. Hard to believe. Hard to believe we got so lucky to be here. Oh, too bad Scotty wasn't here. Too bad Scotty wasn't here. He would love this comment from Forrest. Should change your name to copy and paste Wolf 5220. Oh, that's good stuff from Forrest. Love that. Yeah, I mean it's just kind of silly. Cedar Sat says that's a lot of water. Gonna have to drain the rested pipe. Oh man, yeah. Look at that's what I mean. That's what I mean. There's nothing else like Bitcoin. There's nothing that even comes close to it. Not only just in terms of like a superior way to store your time and energy without anybody being able to steal it from you, but just like the people, man. And that was honestly like I started out, as I mentioned, I started with silver, precious metals. I got black pilled. I was like, what is going on in the world? I need to get out of the dollar. Went into silver, got a lot of silver, started watching similar videos that led me to crypto. And I had a little bit of Bitcoin at the time just because I was kind of diversified. Because that's what people would say. They'd be like, well, you know, get into this coin, this token, this coin, and make sure you have a little bit of Bitcoin too, because you want to be diversified. And then I started watching some Bitcoiners, and it was just like, it was literally night and day. Not only just like the way the streams were, how genuine the people were, but just their intentions. You could actually feel the energy through the screen. That people in there were not out to get rich quick. They weren't out to scam you. They actually wanted to build a better future. That's the vibe that I got from the Bitcoiners that I was listening to. And that's what got me into Bitcoin. And it's like, that is what Bitcoin is. It's like, yeah, it's a money. Yeah, it's a tool. But like, it's hard to explain. And, you know, we started the show today talking about why we've already won as Bitcoiners. And it's for that reason. It's like, I just have a completely different view of the world than 99.9% of the world. People are worried about who's the president, who's protesting over here, who's at war, how much this costs. And it's just like, that's not even 1 second of my day. You're not going to make me cry. Well, you might. I've definitely cried on the show before. And I instantly regretted it. So it won't happen again. I think it was about Arnie, though. Pretty easy to make me cry with Arnie, just with his... Nope. Not talking about Arnie. Anyways, let's keep going here. MSTR, good buy right now if you have capital and tax advantage account. Yeah, I would agree with that. But you never want to like sell Bitcoin in self custody and buy strategy. Yeah, make sure you have Bitcoin first, 100%. Forrest says, stoked for Zapstream to work again. Mine bugged out yesterday and the week before. Yeah, it wasn't working for me this morning either. But Kieran just said that the server bugged out, so he restarted, and all of a sudden we're back. And we got a fat balance in our account. I'll be able to. I could probably do 5 days worth of streaming now. Should we do a 5-day Zapathon on Kieran? Zap has been intermittent here and Ford has been intermittent here in Forsies, Ontario. Yes, you are the man, Kieran. Look at that. People, real Bitcoiners are not in it for the fiat gains. All crypto people are. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like crypto people are they just have different intentions. They want to get rich quickly and they want to convert their tokens into more Bitcoin. And it's like, if everybody's doing that, why not just buy Bitcoin before everybody trades their shitcoins for Bitcoin? You get a better price. That's how markets work. 100% agree. It's 9 days, especially with the DeFi people. Yes. Counting sats opened my eyes to all the money I've wasted. Oh, no doubt. That's probably been one of the biggest things for me, is just how much money I was wasting. Ooh, this is getting harder and harder to drink. It feels like a freaking waterfall coming at me. Okay, so we got Mert Zap 21 sats. Thank you, Mert. Matt FRL, my man. Zap to Tesla 369 Freedom units. Sin Diesel from the great state of Texas zapped an 18 and a 45. And we got Joshua zapped 99 sats and said, Scotty's sleeping right now, I believe. Scotty is sleeping. I think fundamentally Bitcoin is for people with hope, with a need for freedom and privacy. Yep, exactly. Okay, well, we're 2.5 hours. We could keep going here if we wanted to. I actually got to go see my grandma right away. So maybe I'm procrastinating. Who knows? I got to go see my legendary grandmother. Went to my family's for Christmas. Took grandma in the vehicle with us. We drove over there, and our first stop in the city was the liquor store, obviously. And she can't really see, like she has eye issues. She's 85 years old. 85 years old, and I was like, okay, well, I got to grab a couple things. And she's like, well, I can't see. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll come with you. So she's like, where's the whiskey? 85 years old. I was like, okay, well, over here. So I'm like, okay, well, there's the Crown Royal. There's the Seagrams, I think it was. There's the a couple different ones, mainstream ones. And she's like, I'll take one of those and one of those. I was like, so I grabbed, I think it was a 40, which is like a liter. And she's like, well, is that the big one? I'm like, you mean like a 60? Like a handle? And she's like, yeah. So I get one Crown Royal 60, I think they're called. And then she gets another 60 of whiskey. 85 years old. She still works. Not for somebody, but she has her own. She's a caterer. Ukrainian caterer. She's a fucking legend. Legend among legends. Josh says, I got to make my hooligan daughters their supper, and waiting patiently for my Alberta liquor order to get here with Trump derangement syndrome alcohol. Oh, that's good stuff. Martin says, I use ShakePay for everyday spending in my way to add more to DCAs. If I don't spend the day, then I buy Bitcoin. That's a great way to do it, honestly. And if you're here, let me take this off here. I'm going to put up, no, where's that other one that I had? Sure. There we go. Grippers. Oh, Josh says grippers. That's what they call the 60. I really got to take my time with that because it comes fast. It's like it's in a different area code over there. But okay, what was the comment that I saw here? Or was that? ShakePay, yeah. So in Canada, that's what I do too. That's what we do for our show every day when we do a daily smash buy. Is I just usually send like $100 there every Monday, and then I'll just literally every day, depending on what the price is up or down from yesterday, I'll buy less, same, or more, or a lot more. And so that's what I use ShakePay for, because you can actually hold dollars on there, and you can buy very small amounts. So that's why I suggest ShakePay here in Canada and River in the US of A. Grandma Joy is a whiskey girl, woman after my heart. Yeah, she's a wild. I absolutely love her. She has no filter. She has less of a filter than me. Mrs. Leahy. Oh, that's shit. Texas Mickey. Yeah, that's right. That's what we usually have as socials here, as Texas Mickeys. It's like, I know you can't see it, but it'd be like 3 feet high, probably, with a cradle to pour or a pump on the top. Yep. Considering Bitcoin Amsterdam next year. Anyone ever been? I've been to Amsterdam. I did not like it. I mean, I probably would have liked it as like, if I was 20 years old on a bachelor party or something, but I thought it was a really dirty city. Dirty, just bad vibes. Kind of like Vegas. It's like the Vegas of Europe. I just get bad vibes in Vegas too. Just like everybody's trying to rip you off. Just like so much. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I didn't like Amsterdam. I like Portugal way better. I would go to Bitcoin Atlantis if they had one there again. ShakePay to auto buy $5 for each purchase. Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing about ShakePay is you can, is that what it's called, auto buy or top up or something? So if you bought like a chocolate bar for $2.50 and you had your top up on for $5, essentially you'd pay for the chocolate bar and then it would automatically buy $5 worth of Bitcoin. So I've stacked so many sats by doing that. I use my ShakePay Visa card for everything. Roundup, that's what it's called. Roundup. If anybody needs a referral there, I think you actually need a referral code to use all the features that they have. Yeah, I use my ShakePay for everything. 120 ounce. Wow. So that'd be 260s then, obviously. Okay, I'm running out of voice here, folks. ShakePay 2, it's the game has long. Oh, ShakePay 2, it's the game has long has I. It's a tough one. Roundup, yes. I'm pumped now. Kieran made my day. Kieran made my freaking day. Fixed Zapstream and gave me a nice freaking credit there for future Zap streams. Sharon B says, I thought all Canadians just drank 40s and whiskey on the rocks. I will say this. This is, we're going to wrap up here. But I will say this. 2 things. We're going to do our weekly reminders. Oh, I didn't know that. Fold also has a roundup feature. If anybody has a Fold, because there's a lot of Americans that watch this show. So if anybody has a Fold wallet and you have a referral code, send it over to me. And I'll put it in the show notes today. So any Americans who are watching the show now or later, you can go into the pinned comments and you can find the Fold referral link in there. Oh, what happened there? So visionaries@proton.me. And just send me your referral code. The first person who sends it, that's the one I'll put in there. We might as well. Because I don't have one myself, so we might as well give it to Sin. If you have your referral code, just email it to me quick. And I'll add it to the referral. Fold's basically like the American version of ShakePay. Okay, so the first thing here is I was drinking whiskey. That's kind of my favorite drink is whiskey, with a splash of Diet Coke and then water. I think it's called like a whiskey Diet Coke press. But instead of using like normal water, I mix some Element, lemon and raspberry, I think, Element. And so that's what I used instead of just like regular tap water or like distilled water. I added lemon Element to it. So not only was I hydrated, but it was freaking unbelievable taste. So if anybody likes whiskey, consider that drink. You could put some Diet Pepsi in there, some Pepsi, some Coke, but put mostly water. You're going to feel a lot better the next day. A lot better the next day. There we go. So, okay, so I got sins. So if there's any Americans out there, I will share the link to Fold. I'm pretty sure you'll get something for free for signing up from Sin. And not from Sin. Sin will get something. You'll get something. Okay. Reminders before we go. Wow, long show today. This is our longest one yet. And there's actually a lot of people here for the full show today. So we got weekly reminders here. Number one, never tell anyone, how much Bitcoin you have. It's a lose, lose, lose. It's psychologically burns into their brain. So it might not seem like much when Bitcoin's 88,000, but when Bitcoin's 880,000 or 8 million or 88 million, they're never going to forget how much Bitcoin you have. So definitely do not tell anyone how much Bitcoin you have in the YouTube chat, in the YouTube comment section, or anywhere. Anyone. Fiat price, completely irrelevant for us, for people here in 2025. It does not matter. It does not matter what the price is. Unless you plan on selling it and using your Bitcoin for something tomorrow, don't waste your time. Just as soon as you get dollars, turn it into sats. Keep some dollars on the sidelines. Keep a little cash reserve. But don't look at the price. Whether it's 100,000, 80,000, 120,000, just buy. Like the spread, the asymmetric upside for Bitcoin right now is like wild. Make sure your sign device is in a separate location from the recovery phrase. So this is something we're going to pay a lot of attention to in the Bitcoin school. And the importance of this, where to put these, how to think about this. This is probably the thing that Bitcoiners get wrong the most, is they don't know really where to keep their private key. They don't know where to keep their sign device. And I feel like that's a pretty important aspect that people are kind of just glossing over. So this is going to be a pretty big focus for our school. 2 is 1, 1 is none. Exchanges, recovery phrases, passphrases, data, media, passwords, videos, pictures. If you have one of them and you lose it, or somebody steals it, or it burns, you have none. If you have 2 of them, if you have a backup and one of them gets stolen, lost, burned, you still have 1. 2 is 1, 1 is none. The key to wealth is multiple streams of sats. So that's kind of what I was talking about there with the school community. That is, where was that here? Where was that here? Right here. So the course that we're going to do in 2026 is going to be a video every day about 10 or 15 minutes long. And the focus is going to be getting every single Bitcoiner into a multi-sig setup and also having 8 different streams of income. So that's why I say this. The key to wealth is multiple streams of income. And so that's going to be one of our focuses. It's not just going to be like, what is Bitcoin? Why do you need Bitcoin? Everybody knows that. You're going to transform yourself during this year in 2026. You're going to be making more money if you show up and pay attention. You're going to have the perfect or the closest thing to perfect Bitcoin security. You're going to have way more sats than you have right now. And you're going to meet future multimillionaires and billionaires from across the planet. Number 6 here, all that matters is you have more sats on December 31st than you had on January 1st. So it's like, people get caught up in, I had to sell some Bitcoin, or I don't want to sell Bitcoin, so I'm going to take on credit card debt. It's like, no, don't worry about it. If you need to sell some Bitcoin to cover things that you need, do it. Don't think in days and weeks and months. Think in like years and cycles. And if you can do this for 10 years in a row, where you have more sats on December 31st, any amount, if you have 1 million sats more, 10 million sats more, even 20,000 sats more, you do that for 10 years straight, you're going to be very, very, very rich beyond your wildest imagination. Keep in mind, it's much easier for somebody to steal your Bitcoin from Singapore than flying to your house. So yes, we do want to focus on getting our Bitcoin properly secured against wrench attacks using distributed multi-sigs, but you also have to pay very close attention to what you're doing online, who you're talking to. Everybody's going to try to steal your Bitcoin. So just be ready for it. Put a note right on top of your cold card, pre-flight checklist. Verify the address, verify the trace, and verify the person. And number 8 here, most importantly, we are right about Bitcoin. There's going to be people out there who have put in 0 time trying to figure out Bitcoin, 0 hours. We call them 0-hour dipshits. And some people get pretty offended by that, but we're not going to stop calling them that because that's what they are. They're people who have taken 0 time to understand what this thing is and what it can do for the world, but yet they still have an opinion on it. And you're going to see the price of gold going up, silver going up, Bitcoin's been flatlining. Just tune it out. Go like this. We are right about Bitcoin. It is the future currency of planet Earth and beyond. It is the future unit of account. It is the future financial system. It is an absolutely scarce asset that every single person on this planet is going to benefit from. It's a solution to a problem that 8 billion people have. Every person on this planet right now is looking for a bit, whether they know it or not, they're looking for a better way to store their value. When they go to work, they pay their bills, they have a little bit extra, they need a place to store that. They don't want to store it in a place where somebody else can print it and devalue and steal their time and energy from. So Bitcoin is a solution to a problem that 8 billion people have. It's a pretty big deal. And just because less than 1% of people have actually taken the time and energy to learn what this is, doesn't mean that you're wrong about it. That just means that they haven't taken the time to learn what it is. And so with that in mind, Bitcoin's going to be very volatile. It's going to go like this, and it's going to go like this, and it's going to go like this. And why is that? It's because nobody understands what this asset is. Nobody knows how to value this asset yet. We've never had anything like Bitcoin before with absolute scarcity. So anytime you can buy Bitcoin for under $10 million, that's a deal. The deal of a lifetime. Hell, anytime you could buy Bitcoin for under 100 million, that's a deal of a lifetime. Things will get fun when we get to 1 cent equals 1 sat, and then it'll get even funner when $1 equals 1 sat. And it's going to happen because there's only so much Bitcoin out there. And the people who have ran this world for the last 100 or thousands of years, they don't have the ability to print Bitcoin anymore. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. It's just that most people don't understand that yet. And they may never. But you're watching this now, and you do. So shout out to you, just kind of like we started the show there today. Shout out to you for being here. And you don't have to join this second. We've had about 10 people join during the show today. But highly encourage it. If you're serious about this stuff, if you want to protect what you have, make more of it, and meet other Bitcoiners, join the school community. It'll be the best investment you ever make. And I'm going to make a personal guarantee here, actually. If you go through the course for every day 2026 or however many you want to do, and you feel like it wasn't worth your money, I will refund 100% of your total annual fee. 100% of it. All you have to do is say, Jor, I didn't learn anything. This is a waste of my time. And I'll even send it back in sats. So you can trade your dollars for it. I'll send it back in sats. I 100% guarantee that it's going to be 10, 20, 30x the value that you send this way. That's my mission for 2026. So consider it. That's what I got. Until January 1st, it'll be $8. On January 2nd, it'll be $21 a month. So if you're interested, if you want to do it, it'd be a good time. Start the year off right. We're going to have a little private group chat for all the people going through it, and it's going to be a very good environment. I will personally guarantee it. So anyways, hope you're having a great, thanks for being here. Oh, I missed a couple comments here. Fold feels like Shea Pay of the US. Yes, it is. Oh, look at that. Somebody just joined. Good to see. Good to see. So yeah, if you're watching this later, I'll have all these links for Shake Pay, for the cold card, for the school community. Everything will be in the pinned comments below the video. So thanks everybody for watching, even those who didn't enjoy themselves during the show today. Even those who got a little butthurt because I called them 0-hour dipshits. But I appreciate you. Lots of support today. There's lots of love flying around. I don't know if it was the Christmas season or the New Year, but I really, really, really appreciate it. So that's it. Happy New Year, everybody. We will be back in 2026 next Tuesday, and we will start the Bitcoin School on January the 1st. So if you're interested, not only just watching videos, but being a part of something pretty damn special, I encourage you to join. That's it. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.